Was an animal that resembles a creature I saw earlier. It has a long, thin tail. Its body is unevenly covered in fur. Torso is dripping with something black, and one of its horns seems to be broken. Its lower jaw, I can't see it. Words appeared on the photo when I took it. I didn't immediately understand what it was. I decided to help it. Oh, hello, y'all. I'm Zale, and this month is the spooky month, October. So obviously, you know what that means. I'm gonna be playing horror games, indie horror games. The lesser known, the better. And today we're starting off with a game that I bought about a month ago, like the day after it came out. I don't even remember where I saw it or learned about it, and I've forgotten pretty much everything about it. So we're gonna be going in basically blind. All I know is it was on my wish list. I bought it right when it came out, and it's a horror game. Uh, since the title's not on here, it's called Contra Spem Spero. I'll probably add the title screen, or you'll see it on the thumbnail and the title of the video. We'll start with the settings as we normally do. Got the volume turned quite a bit down. I always wish we had like individual sliders because it's the music that's a little loud. But hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. You can have a basic cursor or the hand. We're gonna go with the hand because it's pretty cool. I like it. It's diegetic. Language, return to my menu, and then there's some other settings here. If you want to go to the last page of current location, this is a lot of stuff I don't really understand, so we're just gonna move on. You have to kind of like swipe. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, let's just jump in. I'm playing this right at midnight, by the way. All the lights are off, except for back to, oh my god. No more lights are off. I was gonna say except for my oven light back there. August 14th, the road at 9:12. This is gonna be a lot of reading, huh? The goddamn car broke down again. I did check all the parts before leaving. They were working just fine then, and are now, but it won't start. I can't just wait, not this time. Just in case I forget anything important, I'll use my journal and camera as always. Now I have to grab the backpack and go find some help. The essentials, my wallet, driver's license, and flashlight are in my pockets. The gas station shouldn't be too far from here. I remember that. I decided to. So it's like a choose your own adventure book. This is my health, I assume. Do I get mana? Energy or something? I have 50 Polaroid papers, a water bottle, a pocket knife, my wallet, my driver's license, and a flashlight. Alright, let's go down the road. The road disappeared. I was walking straight forward without turning and it vanished right under my feet, replaced by bare ground. The moment I realized that, I headed back, but I still couldn't find it. I'm surrounded by trees. It looks like I got deep into a forest. Some glowing orange eyes have been following me for a while. If it's an animal, it's a really big one, and I don't want to get to know it better. There's no point in staying in one place either. Just keep walking. Oh god. I got hurt a little bit. I decided to proceed deeper into the forest. After wandering around for a while, I happened to find a flare gun, as if purposefully hidden between some roots that I tripped over. Could someone actually leave it here? Why? I took it in case there were also flares to be found somewhere nearby. I feel tired already. The path I'd been following had also disappeared, no sign of it anywhere. Night has come, darkness is overwhelming, and the reading light doesn't quite help. Can't believe this forest was always this deep. There's not much I can do right now. Okay, I got a flare gun. Notes. Tripped over roots, found flare gun in the woods. Okay. My inventory. The paper, the water bottle, the pocket knife, flare gun. That's my notes. That's the book, and then exit, I guess. Decided to keep walking. Continue walking, but I couldn't see anything. Even if there was anything useful, I wouldn't notice it. My main focus was not to trip again and die early, so I moved very slowly and was getting nowhere. I decided to just keep walking. Kept walking anyway. The fatigue's almost palpable. I don't understand why it got so bad so quickly. Nothing's changed around me. Maybe I should wait until morning. What in the actual hell was that? The moment I let my guard down, I heard some screeching. Had to run away blindly, ended up losing a thing or two. When I realized... Oh no. When I realized exactly which things those were, I was about ready to lose my mind. If I can't find them later, I swear to God. Lost my wallet, my driver's license, and the flashlight. That's That's really not good. This forest is full of wild animals. It feels as if my every move is being watched. I changed my mind about staying in one place. Might be too dangerous, especially in such a conspicuous one. How ironic. Found myself in a clearing, wish the road were right behind that tree line. I think I see someone standing next to it, but I'm not sure if they're facing my way. If I call out, this person won't be the only... Next page. Wanted to know my location. I got an idea. The flash may attract their attention. I decided to take a photo. It did. Looked like they waved at me when I got closer, as carefully as I could, not to make too much noise. The silhouette became more vague. I asked and I whispered if they knew how to get out of here. There was no response. I'll glance at that photo, make sure I didn't imagine things, and I'm not talking to a human-shaped tree snag. I decided to look at the photo. What the hell? New one. You're gonna die in here, fool. You're gonna die. He's mine. Fresh meat. Don't run. Pointless. Shush, boss is here. Is that my sanity meter? I can choose to pass out. Fight! Oh my god. I think I lost. Wow. Well, we're like 6 minutes in, and I died. If I hit continue, where does it put me? Take a photo, look at the photo. I guess I run away. Run away! Really? My only option is to pass out? That's kind of crazy. Alright. Oh look, my insanity is like rising. I didn't even notice that every time they say something new. I pass out. That was the right answer. What the hell? I decided to, well, I didn't. I just passed out. When I regained consciousness, I still can understand what had happened exactly. What was that? The last thing I saw was those orange eyes. I had already spotted earlier. I felt too scared, weightless to do anything. An old man brought me back to my senses. He said something about being trapped in this forest for a long time too, but I didn't... Actually, I don't know if I can believe myself at the moment. He's leading me somewhere where it's always safe. I had no choice but to follow. He said they'd come back if I refused. Also commended my ability to deftly record things in any conditions. I'm well aware of its value, still I prefer to think events through before writing them down, even if sometimes it's more complicated than doing that at once. I decided to follow the old man. We reached camp. Tents here, obviously handmade, but looked neat. The man introduced himself as Rob. He gave me folded paper sheet and said, "Here, take the thing. Maybe you'll find better use in it than I did. Don't forget your old man when you find a way out of here." Hey, it's a map. Interesting. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I went back. Okay, so this is the woods clearing. Now I'm in the camp. Man, this game looks long. Goes all the way around and around and around to the center. Very interesting. There's a scribble in the corner too. Okay. Camp. What is this? Hello? What am I doing? Okay. So I still have 49 more Polaroids, a water bottle, pocket knife, and a fire gun. There was another one inside but empty. The first one turned out to be a shabby hand-drawn map. Did he really depict the forest in it? I should use my cam more often to at least have some idea of my surroundings and check it, hopefully, but don't overdo it. I still only have a few pieces of toilet paper left, or I could just wait until morning. Now that I feel safe in the presence of another human, he's a stranger after all. I decided to take a photo. I took a photo. Rob got closer and said, "What you got there? A camera? Looked like an owl to me." "Sorry photos you have there, buddy. Your cam has a flash, eh? I ain't seen one when you took me a picture. That's the way light works here, or doesn't, who knows. Depending on what the forest wants you to notice, that could come in handy, so cling to the thing." Doubt his ability to give valuable advice, but I'll keep it in mind. Moreover, the thing was too expensive to buy and not cling onto now. Sorry, my nose hairs are tickling me. Okay. Now what? I decided to let's get some sleep. I'm tired. Decided to sleep until morning in one of the tents. Rob obligatingly pointed out. Maybe this place won't be so gloomy in the daylight and I'll be able to get out faster. When morning came, there was no light, pitch darkness, just as before. Covered everything around. Oh my god. Pitch darkness, just as before, covered everything around me. Rob was sleeping near the fire. I woke him up and asked what was going on. He said, "There's no light in my misery. Yours doesn't have it either." I went back to sleep without further explanation. Guess I need to figure out for myself for now. Decided to leave. Decided not to waste time and explore the forest further. As I was leaving camp, Rod called out, "Since you're all set to go, mind bringing me my ladle? I can't stop thinking about it. Can't stir me no good apple soup without it." "Why apple? Because it's all you can find to eat here, damn it." Lost it near the next place marked on the map after my camp, and you probably have better eyes, so I'm sure you can do that. Oh, and grab some wood, though I have plenty in stock. I made sure of that. Chop, chop. All these years just like that. Be careful out here with the folks. They're everywhere. Return here to rest from time to time. You gotta keep your progress in mind, huh? And it ain't possible with no good sleep. Unless you're keen on pointlessly making the same mistakes over and over again. Not sure what that meant. Anyway, I'd better check the map now. On to the next place. Is that an exclamation point? There's the old man's face. Why does his eyes look like that? That's creepy. Map looks weird and awfully simplified. See if it's accurate. Hope I'll be able to find my way back to the camp when I'm done. Took me some time to reach the supposed location. A dilapidated swing-like contraption lay under a tree. I soon realized it was some kind of broken animal trap. Sharp stakes chaotically stuck in the ground nearby only confirmed my guess. Now to find what I was asked to. Be better to stick with certain tactics if I want to get out quickly and with extra help. Apart from the camp, the forest is pitch black. I'd capture everything at once to avoid missing anything, but I have to manage my Polaroid paper. I don't know how much I'll need. Rob and those things definitely won't have any to lend me, will they? I decided to take a photo. Okay. Don't know how to explain it properly, but after going off, the flash on my camera seems to freeze in time or create an invisible light source that continues to illuminate my surroundings. Even if faintly, for much longer than it should. The nearest objects stay visible to me somehow. I decided to look around. I soon spotted the ladle, almost glowing because of its metallic texture. It's weird to say the least, having a neck too wide for the bowl to be suitable for containing liquid. Handmade, too. I also noticed a cage trap with something barely visible inside that was closed, and there was a set of buttons on either side. Likely they used to unlock it, but didn't know the right combination. I guess I decided to leave. I left. Back to the camp. Oh, it's raining. That's pretty neat. Talk to Rob. Ladle. I emptied half my backpack trying to find the ladle, and when I finally did, Rob grabbed it out of my hand cheerfully. He said, "Attaboy, I almost lost all hope by now. You're a promising fellow. Look, here's another problem you absolutely have to help me with. I just want some apples. 5 more so I can make me good soup. Bring them to me, or else I'll soon faint from this damned hunger and won't be able to help you out of here." Ooh, excuse me. 5 apples? I don't remember seeing a single apple tree around. I'll see what I can do. He suddenly pointed at the flare gun I found shortly after I got lost in the forest. "What are the odds? This is mine too, but no matter. You can have it if you wish, buddy. After all, I forgot I hid it there, so you brought it back to me, and it's also broken." Well, thanks. Okay. I want to ask him about the cage trap. Asked him if he knew how to open the cage trap. Of course I do, but I ain't got a clue now. In fact, I forgot that right after the trap finally caught something. Can you imagine? But I'm sure you'll crack it. You're a clever boy. Just listen to the heart. Okay. Forest. Asked him about the forest. He answered, "It's a cruel one. I was even younger than you are now when I got stuck in the prison of a forest. Can you imagine that? I never wanted to last so long when I was free, but something makes me hold on to life here. Still, it's nice to sometimes meet other folks here, even if they don't stay for quite as long. That's why I hope you'll finally be all the way out and surely let me leave the place too. I don't want to die here and become one of them creatures." That's about the creatures solved for passing out. Right, some indeed call them the creatures. You see, buddy, it's a lot of different folks around here. Not only creatures, I call them pups personally. Wicked pups. There are more clever ones, shadowy ones, those things in the sky, and those under the water, and here, friendly ones like you and I. Most of our kind just vanished quickly, so you get a chance to know them better. Luckily, you ran into me soon. I didn't dare object. That's about the camp. It's safe. Never been attacked here. It's the fire scaring them off. Too risky to check, so I keep it burning all the time. Let's leave. Go to the next area. All this field tries to make me paranoid. Stood at the ground, determined to notice the smallest change in texture until I did. It wasn't a trap, however. The numerous thin trails lacking grass. Something small had been dragged. I couldn't see how far. I decided to examine. Too neat to dug manually, look around. Finally decided to look up and around. Can't say if it's important. I found a set of dots nearly noticeable on a tree bark. What could it possibly be? Can I like connect the dots? Huh. Take a photo. Notice a battered paper sheet covered in sand under my feet, saying, I like digging holes and hiding things inside them. When I grow, all the hope I won't forget to find them. There's also a few pits. Tiny wildflower had placed inside, the rest empty ones. Well, dang. Okay. What the hell? Should forest to the meant to. What is all this? This looks like scratch paper, like I should really write on it. But I don't seem to be able to interact with it. I was gonna try to take note of those dots, but I don't seem to be able to do that. Put something in the pit. I put one piece of Polaroid paper in a pit and it immediately disappeared, sinking into the sand. Nothing else happened. I feel like that's another piece of Polaroid paper gone. That's enough. It feels like maybe I'm putting things in that I can use in later runs? Question mark? Okay. Can I move on now? Yeah. Oh, she has something new for me. Can I ask him about the pits? Dr. Rob. Never mind. What do you mean, never mind? Okay. Never mind indeed. Let's go here. Approached what appeared to be a simple, half-demolished building, its roof gone and piles of bricks scattered across the floor. Despite the first impression, it turned out to be way more complex and crooked. With its uneven structure, unnaturally extending straight into the thicket. When I stepped inside to check if I could find anything useful, something crunched loudly under my feet. Felt almost like stones, but sharper. I froze. It may be dangerous to go further, especially blindly, but I have enough Polaroid paper to take another photo. I will do so. Ooh, bones. It was human bones. I stepped on one of the hundreds, fully covering the floor. Some still had flesh on them. Sprinted out immediately, thinking the culprit might be in the building, and didn't notice one in the darkness. Besides, I spotted something shiny among the remains in the flash, but should I check it? Palm-sized glass vial, hollow inside but entirely solid with no opening or cap. I took it with me despite it being useless. Great. I can't move on. I decided to look around. Nothing particular, except I noticed the ground was trampled in several directions. I left. The hell was that noise? Just realized how freaking bright I am on the camera. I wonder if I can turn the brightness down on this thing. Whatever. We do another cluster of trees, except these all appear to be thin, with leaves occupying their top only. The sky is barely visible here as well. Nothing. What was that sound? Like an animal roar, a painful one. Carefully followed the source. Poor thing is bent to the ground, groaning quietly. It's not big. Take a photo. Oh god. Help, help, help! Was an animal resembles a creature I saw earlier. It has a long, thin tail. Its body is unevenly covered in fur. Torso is dripping with something black, and one of its horns seems to be broken. Its lower jaw, I can't see it. Words appeared on the photo when I took it. I didn't immediately understand what it was. I decided to help it. Oh. Okay. Oh, God. Hee, another gullible idiot. What are those photos? You one lucky bastard to be able to hear me, so my bad. It gets worse, and I need souls to control myself. You do too to escape. Bring 5 from the lake. Okay. Fuck. My whole body tingled. It still kind of is. Watch me closely as I write this down, probably as well surprised as I am by the fact that I hear him speak using photos, not my ears. Because for details, with the blank space on play runs out, I might need to take another photo. I decided to... Can't I, like, put the thing down? Oh, that's like a quit. How do I, like, lower my... Whoa, my god, there he is. Thought there was a way to just, like, optionally put my book down. Maybe not. It's 7 a.m. now. Try to talk. Shook his head when I tried to ask something. He seemed to be in a hurry. When I was ready to leave, he passed me a handful of vials looking like the one I'd found earlier. A lot dirtier. I wonder if these are used for obtaining souls or whatever he was talking about. I didn't ask him. He's already gone. Didn't see anything notable around except for a trail of blood starting where LD was lying and leading behind the bushes. I decided to leave. I left. Fucking yikes. At first, the path ahead was eerily empty and devoid of any particular features. Trying to make out the scribbles, I used the map repeatedly to check if I was walking right. Soon, one of the next marks was explained to me by a series of balanced stones that started appearing one by one on both sides of me. They were flat pebbles, forming small, thin towers scattered around. Then I reached a natural arch formed from the interlocking branches of towering trees, as if deliberately twisted into place. An end of the rope wrapped around one of them was hanging down invitingly. I could reach it if I jumped. Pull it. Probably expecting something extraordinary to happen, I pulled the rope. Most of it remained tightly fixed above. Well, if I ever needed one, I could turn here and cut some off. My chest began to hurt. I thought maybe it was caused by yet another supernatural force, but no, I was simply hungry. Okay. Check my backpack for food, as I find some essentially. I don't think there's anything really to take a photo of, so I'm just gonna move on. I always feel like something's watching me. Time feels distorted in this forest. The sky is still dark, just like when I got here. Already glowing close to one another, the trees around me become increasingly bent to the point where their branches and even trunks are intertwined, as if bowing in a dance. In the end, they formed a fairly steep climb, which was the only way to proceed. It had some gaps I couldn't see through because of the dense foliage. Use them as footholds. Worked out well. I didn't like that noise. Soon I was able to walk as the treetops leveled out. It sounds like something walking around me. I almost forgot those were not the usual ground, partly because there was nothing particularly remarkable up high. Despite the distance covered, I didn't see the sky clearly, but as a thin, vibrant blue line, the area was surrounded from both sides of even larger trees. Take a photo. Oh my god, I'm like walking on like a root path. There's something hidden beneath. All the leaves prevent me from confirming or denying it. The fish flash was enough to spell the darkness between them for some reason. I decided to leave. Can't say if it was an illusion, a fault of my intention or memory, but before I knew that the trees under my feet were in fact replaced by ground, the thought made my head spin. I continued walking. Why is there so many exclamation points around? I can put... I don't know if I want to put a vial in a pit. I do have 6. He only wanted 5, so I could afford to put 1 in a pit. Why would I even do that? Okay, never mind. Oh no, all the exclamation points are gone. Fascinating. Okay. I continued walking. Can I talk to... Hold on, I'm confused. Oh, weird. I decided to leave. There we go. Somehow got into like a weird state. I don't really know how to explain that. Rob was sitting by the fire as usual, except markedly gloomy this time. I asked him what was wrong. He said and had to listen to a whole campfire story. Here's the lake. I don't know what its problem is. I still visit it sometimes as it's close to the camp, relatively. Try to catch dinner, no avail. Each bunny... Oh my god. Each bunny, birdie, or rodent always runs past me and intentionally drowns itself in the water. Why not just let me catch them? I have no enemies among animals, but man's gotta eat. One day I even saw a dog jump in. It happens in mere seconds. Plop and gone. Plop and gone. Leaving a poor old man with no dinner. Moreover, the body just disappeared. No dinner at all. Can you imagine? No, I decided not to spend the ink to complete the version of his babbling. I asked Rob if he knew something about the little demon. That's why it's LD. Little demon. Ran into his described his appearance. Rob said they're all no good, scary things. This one's a spoiled, noisy pup. Always trying to get him attention, but I'd never deal with him. Okay. I decided to get some sleep. I hide in the bushes, aiming at something I can't see. The fired bullet triggers a trap door, revealing a shallow pit with a detailed map of a way out of the forest. I lean in, tracing the path with my finger, trying to memorize it in case I lose the map, but I keep getting distracted and have to start over multiple times. When I finally reach its end, I realize that my finger is no longer on the map. It's leaving a long trail on the ground. Try to figure out what happened and where I am, but all I can see are the countless trails around, each left by me. Okay. Let's go elsewhere. Oh wait, I think I'm in that state again. Hold on. Leave. Whoa, my light's going out. Okay, I'm good. So there's something here and here. Let's go back over here, I guess. Oh, that's because I just never took a photo of that? That's fine. Let's go here. I'm gonna move my camera over to this. Well, no, because then I'll probably cover some of the words. It's probably better where it is now. You can shrink it though a bit. I don't think I need to be that large. Okay. Top of the loft started raining. Tried to concentrate on my surroundings and ignore the fact that I was soaked as well as the noise around me. In an instant, a haunting sense of someone else's presence struck me. I turned around abruptly, trying to determine its source, and almost immediately a gaze of glowing orange eyes met mine. This massive silhouette of their owner standing motionlessly... Oh my god, I cannot talk. The massive silhouette of their owner standing motionlessly towered over me, even from a distance. Couldn't help but smack the cam's shutter button immediately to capture it. Holy crap. Is that Mothman? It looks like Mothman. And so we meet. Speak to me if you will. There are no limits to my words. However, I do not believe you are aware of those your memory has. Talk to Moth. Makes a good screenshot. I knew it was another whatever this thing is. It looks moth-like with those antennae and dark in the cloak or wings. I'm not sure. It has 3 eyes, does it? I only see 2. Visually a bony mask with unnaturally wide mouth. Can't say if it's friendly or just pretending to be. Moth. So I asked him about himself. Apparently he wants neither to help me or kill me, but I'm sure could use some information, I'm sure. I'm here to help you as you were doomed the moment the forest decided so. Yet I am here to observe your struggle, reasonable or not, until the moment you die at the hands of another, such as LD. He's a creature, a former human transformed after his death in accordance with one of the two possible outcomes. Not the one expected or wanted, that's for sure. Rob. Old fool that's still clinging to the hope of escaping. What a waste of time. Humans adore attributing terms to things you do not understand. Let me simplify it for you. The others called it spiritualism. The impact you may get from dealing with the dead. The higher it is, the more your physical body dissolves. The last stage is death, in case you did not figure that out. Escape. Could a man like you possibly change in the established cycle? They all made decisions according to their own moral compass. You do, you die, and the forest claims another victim. I merely tell you the truth. It is your choice to accept or deny it. There is no escape. Alright. Leave. Decided to leave. He insisted that he accompany me, and I couldn't risk refusing the offer, so we walked side by side. His presence made me anxious, but not as much as the option of being killed by someone who I couldn't even try to convince not to. Strangely, his words disappeared and are replaced with the new ones on the Polaroids, unlike LD's. Moving further to the forest, came up with a small open space. The ground completely covered by something glistening in the moonlight was not enough for me to distinguish what it was, but it looked like thick vines at first. I got closer over there, turned out to be a whole pile of snakes. I immediately stepped away, bumping my back against the damn overgrown moth, who surprisingly hadn't killed me by then. I almost forgot he was there in all the silence. Don't be afraid, we seem to hold no interest to them. When I looked closer to the snakes, I noticed they were all motionless, moreover some were tied in a knot. I reached for one when Moss suddenly stopped me with his vast hand, offering a tiny glass bottle filled with a liquid in one. As I picked up the snake, I understood it was actually already dead. Carefully untied it anyway. I can't think of anything that could have caused this. Remember that for every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. You may need this. A single one of the snakes is moving here. They seem to be frozen, their heads turned to the side, eyes peering in the sky. I reflectively lifted mine and noticed nothing unusual up there. I got an anti-venom, that's what that was. Decided to leave. Moth nodded slightly and stayed where he was, so I could calm down a bit knowing he was finally off my back. Fallen tree. Slid into the next place marked on the map on a carpet of bent stems, roots, and grass. The latter clung persistently to my clothes, but I didn't attach much importance to it then. At the bottom of that funnel-like space, there happened to be a freshly fallen tree, which I'm using now as a stopping point to write this down. Take a photo, why not? Search the crown. Bird's nest full of eggs. Took it with me to camp so I could look after the yet unhatched nestlings while it's gone. I think he's gonna eat him, my guy. Hand brushed against the velvet texture, small old black hat laying in the vegetation. It was distorted with two fake roses and an impressive blue stone. I decided to leave. Okay. Hey. Do you want to take care of some eggs? Handed Rob the bird's nest found near the fallen tree and asked him to look after it since he usually stays at camp. He placed it on one of the boxes and said, I'll take care of them, alright. He's gonna eat them. Moth. Asked Rob what he knew about Moth. He shook his head and said, well, that one's a menacing fellow. Can't find a proper slipper against a bug that big. Asked Rob about spiritualism, except I explained it to him in other words. He said, should have reminded me earlier. The thing's dangerous, that's why you don't want to speak to the folks. They're pulling the mind out of you. Not every one of them, of course, but the most. And if there's no speaking to hurt your mind, there's sharp claws and teeth to hurt your body. Okay. The wind picked up, carrying a deep, prolonged melody that overlapped with muffled pounding from somewhere below, like rain on a roof. But each time, I heard from a different side. I found myself among the dead trunks of a grove, similar to others I had already encountered on my way, except here the trees were especially old and marked by cavities, which were the source of the ringing sounds. When gusts of wind came through them, they responded with a shaky hum. Listen. Can I listen and write down at the same time? Right, left, shit. I think it was one right and then 3 lefts. Is that right? Well, let's caps lock this, because it's right, 3 lefts, and then I think 3 rights. Right, left, 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 right, 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 left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I believe that's left times 7. So right, L times 3. Right times 3. Good. And then left times 7, I believe. Let's listen to that one more time. Oops. Wrong thing. 7. Okay. 1 right, 3 lefts, 3 rights, 7 lefts. Whatever that means. Take a photo. This looks lifeless. Gray surroundings pointlessly wobble under the unchanging night sky. If it rains, I have no place to take shelter, and the camp's too far to make it back quickly enough. I decided to look around. At some point in the corner of my eye, I saw in the distance trees instantly vanish into thin air. Still confused by my reaction, I felt strangely indifferent the entire time. I was there, so I didn't pay the slightest attention to that. Instead, I was drawn to the wet paper sheet lying on the ground. Okay. Put the journal down. Where once was lying silenced wounded heart, of sorrow's fullest... What? Where once was lying silenced wounded heart, of sorrow's full and aspiring thus to feel alive, embedded deep within. Okay. I left. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25 more. So like a third of the way through the map at least. I need to drink some water. The next place was reminiscent of a dull hollow, despite the slopes being not steep or large enough to belong to one. At their base, where I was, there were no trees to the very horizon, or at least I couldn't see them. I invariably bumped into what I believed to be tree trunks every time. Started to budge. It reeked of autumn there. Found falling leaves. Take a photo. I decided to take a photo so my body wouldn't suffer through any bruises, but it was no help. There's no trees in the hollow. But it doesn't prevent me from sensing their not so obvious but definite presence. As for the leaves, it's like they're falling from the sky instead of rain. Also noticed a whole lot of ants circling the ground here and there. Good thing I did that before crushing those of them that still live. Look around. Couldn't find a single visible hint concerning how the fuck I was supposed to leave this forest. At long last I kicked something, moving through a pile of leaves, and that something turned out to be a neat gun. And 2 full magazines. Wow. Okay. A house. Following the map gets pretty tricky. I mainly use gaps between treetops to navigate between the places, listing the areas where the sky is clearly, barely, and not at all visible, and arranging them in the right order to recall the way back. All I could see aside from that is a bunch of pitch black silhouettes and shapes almost all the time. Noticed one resembling a building. When I got closer, found to be an odd-looking abandoned house with a porch and everything. At that point, I was sure I would stumble across anything here in the forest, trapped not only people, but houses, cities, or whatever. Walked in and the sounds died away. This place is all dusty. The boards are uncannily dry and pointy. There's someone standing right in front of me. Take a photo. Oh my god. Do I know you? God fucking damn it, those things are getting uglier on purpose. Well, this one's tall and slim and extremely pale, with a long, ghostly hood descending evenly over its body. The flash was not enough to illuminate the lower part of its face. I decided to answer no. Yeah, we can still help each other. If you get souls, give them to me only, always. It's the only right decision to make. Talk to Slim. LD. Little demon, huh? Fitting name, however. Surely he got to you sooner than you came across me, isn't it so? And surely he tried to convince you to give souls to him. Pastor is not the one you should be listening to. Well, I'll be honest, I'm not aware of his exact intentions, but I'm certain those can't be good. What about the moth? Talking to them drains my sanity, or whatever. Spiritualism. No idea what he is. He means no harm, but provides little utility. Do not ignore him, nevertheless. What is it with you and souls? They are literal human souls. To capture them, you need only awareness and vials. The cursed things are an automatic trap, no matter who the holder is. What do you know about spiritualism? Price to pay communicating with the forest victims may be deadly if you overdo it. I won't affect it any further if you prove yourself worthy. By that I mean you are to think every decision thoroughly, especially if it's related to souls. Slim, Rob, I can probably get away with asking this. Never mind or heard about such. Keep in mind I cannot leave this house. What are y'all? Only creature tells entities. One glance often enough to tell them apart, at least for the latter. I'm not sure if creatures are able to distinguish their own kind. In the end, it's complicated to find one intelligent at all. Search the house. Concentration of gloomy beings in my life was high enough that by the time I decided to take a look at the house, I can't say it was successful. The slim one stared at me menacingly after I gave it the first step, not too eager to make him angry, they already seemed. I left. I got an achievement that says meet the key characters. Is that all of them? That's interesting. Let's go take a nap. You know anything about Slim? Ain't sure about that one. You keep befriending all kinds of folks instead of seeking a way out, aren't you? I asked Rob about soul vials. He waved his arms and said, I knew those pups were something deadly. Don't you tell me you brought some of those bottles here with you, you crazy? What if my soul gets trapped? Didn't you think about that? Driving his car with him sleeping in the seat next to me. The road stretches through empty fields bathed in the cold dawn light. The radio crackles loudly. The sound more reminiscent of someone being strangled. Listen until the car stops. I step out. Something grabs my leg and drags me face down along the asphalt. It releases me in the forest. I sit up picturing my damaged face. When I reach for it, it falls into my hands and crumbles. I see Slim sitting by the fire. I move toward him, but it spouts. Oh my god, my cat just touched me. You bastard. I love you, but that was scary. Come on my lap. That way I know where you are. I can't see her at all down there. Where are you? Oh, you're behind me. Okay. Well, come here if you want pets. Oh, goodness. Stinky. I see Sim sitting by the fire. I move toward him, but sprouts her up from the ground, racing ahead. Some entangle and pin me to a tree. Slim and the camp are torn to pieces in an instant. I fall to my knees and realize there was never a tree or sprouts retaining me, only the grip of my own hands breezing my skin. I was standing still the whole time. Okay. I left. Why do all these got exclamation points? I asked Moth about Slim. It's an entity, a former human transformed to death. Like most entities, are granted higher intelligence, yet unable to leave the transformation place until gaining enough strength. Souls. This will become of you in the end if you remain unwilling to accept the fact your fate afterward will not be inevitable. Enviable. The rest is not for me to say. The outcome depends on how you choose to manage them and make sure you learn what you can about them before jumping to conclusions. Okay. I don't know why all these places have them now. What's over here? Time. The descent to the tree was all slippery and rapid. I touched the grass. Few blades twined around my hand. I shook them off. Trying to change a bit too, though I can't figure out how exactly, since I have nothing to do here yet. Then why did it give me an exclamation point? I can listen to the rain. Oh yeah, I didn't tell it I wanted to leave. So one the other kept falling in my head. I suddenly discovered a piece of paper among them. A riddle was there. I wrote it down in the corresponding section of my journal, which is riddles. Where once was lying silence in his heart. Oh yeah, I knew that one. Oh, here we go. Turn your back, look away, blink. I'm always closer than you think. I hold the stars, the moon, the fright above your head in my eternal night. What am I? The sky? Space? Space. No. Okay. I don't know. Can I ask you about the riddle? Never mind. I left. Sure. Next. Probably call it soon, in about 45 minutes. I admitted I'm scared, but the fear subsides as once I'm confronted with something new. I'm not crazy. I don't understand what's happening yet. All this whining is not what I'm supposed to write down. I have to record only those things I want to remember and focus on. The events happening to me that may be worth my attention, but how can I even be sure that any of this is real? I see things that simply cannot be. Maybe it's fatigue, or more likely another trick to stay in place. Surroundings look unusual. After repetitive at some point, a fox hastily crossed paths, surprised by my presence, dropped a small wooden sign behind. Decided to pick up the sign, but as I walked closer, it somehow appeared to be even further away from me than before. Try to get to it again. Keeps drifting away. Instead of walking towards it, I started to walk backwards, and the sign actually drew near, close enough to see what was written on it. A set of numbers. 23, 15, 18, 4. 23, 15, 18, 4. Is that right? 23, 15, 18, 4. Yes. Okay. Take a photo. Look around. Sat on the ground, but I couldn't. The around was escaping me, shifting. Waiting for like something big to happen so I can end the episode on a decent note. Nearly knocked on my feet with fear when countless clusters of glowing orange eyes suddenly appeared before me. Thought it was a large gathering of moth lookalikes ready to lash out any moment, except those were only perfectly round mushroom caps, all facing me no matter where they were growing from, and they were in fact growing everywhere. Some burst into my steps. The air was musty, probably because there's spores polluting it. Didn't know if those were dangerous, but I thought it'd be best to find something to cover my face before exploring the place. Photo. Whoa. Search anyway. There was nothing. Pick one. Ow. I wanted to completely blank last thing I knew I was lying face down slightly. Cat, stop jump scaring me. She keeps running up and just like touching my arm. Come here. Oh, if you want attention, come get it from my lap, because I don't like this being jump scared stuff you're doing. Anyway, I hurt myself picking mushrooms, so I need to find a way to protect myself from the spores. No easier to cross the next one either. First, my attention was caught by the gurgling sounds coming from puddles of black viscous fluid flowing down the tree trunks. Fill the bottle. Lost my water bottle. I gained a bottle with liquid. Take a photo. How many more? I have 25. I mean, that feels like plenty. I don't even know what I'm crushing, to be honest. First instinct was a crushing with my foot, but I underestimated. What am I crushing? Took the photo. I could make out something else on one of the trees. Numerous recesses acting like stairs. My attempts to go up promptly interrupted by a massive clot of substance that fell right on my head. Wobbling and jiggling its way to my grasp until I managed to throw it off me into the tall grass. I jumped down myself, saw on the ground was covered in cracks, and some small marble-like spheres of the same color started to roll out of them. Tried to crush it. It was elastic. I slipped and fell on my back. My eye fell on a huge... What the hell? Scolopendra calling out of the tree. What the fuck? I don't even know what a scolopendra is. Ooh, that was a weird noise. As I approached the lake, I heard a guttural roll behind me rapidly grow louder as it got closer. It hit me then that I completely forgotten that it considered as might attract animals to other predators. Spun around, only to confirm my chance to act carefully and avoid getting hurt more than I deserved. A huge bear. Shoot it! Panicked and decided to shoot it. To find the gun before that encounter was convenient to say the least. The bear didn't even flinch. It was already too close to me, so I braced for impact, but it ran past me. Dived straight into the water and disappeared under the surface in a few seconds. The scene shook me. He did say that animals keep drowning themselves. Thought that must have been the little demon was talking about. I walked up to the water and felt my backpack grow heavy. One of the vials has changed. Was a soul captured in it? I wasn't sure. Didn't do anything to make it happen. I knew nothing about them. Examined the vial closely. I expected to be filled with something glowing or at least light in appearance, but its contents were pitch black and smoky, reminiscent of the silhouettes I had banished for me. Capture more souls. None left. If they really know it's his place, should give one away too, since when do I listen to some beings beyond my relying on a crazy old man's help? That moth, what's his problem? I already spent too much time wandering around. Let's leave. I don't think I need to take a photo. Hey Slim, you want a soul? Nope, apparently not. Okay. Leave. Came across a medium-sized grove where treetops were broken off in a neat diagonal line. Cause I've seen like moth is settled and oh, moth is here. Still twice my height when sitting down, he was contemplating something I obviously was not able to see. I'm pretty sure he's fucking omnipresent. Deep entrapped, those rejecting evident signs forced to fold. Should you be a curious soul, employ your eyes to their fullest, but not avert them from the truth. Taking a photo, I noticed an untouched case hidden under the debris. Empty and damaged on recognition Rockies. Check the case. Open the case. Luckily, it was easy enough. Apart from useless soaked wet paper sheets, there were two useless rotting passports, an Austrian and Italian one. And some vials. What kind of aircraft crashed here? I gained a filled vial and a regular vial. So there's two filled vials, one unfilled vial. 15 bullets, anti-venom. Okay. Examine. Entrance to a mine. Way further in was blocked from its collapsed walls. The lone cart standing in front of the debris. Something inside it was making noises like an object repeatedly dragged along wood. Take a photo. Who are you? I wasn't expecting you. Go away. Stop the hissing. Taking the cart is mostly formless, smoke-like, but I noticed it was hiding a box in its slender gray hands. The flash also outlined something right next to my feet. Examine the ground. Wooden boards formed on an uneven square on the ground, similar to the sandbox, but with small human bones instead of toys. Doubt there's a use for those. Talk to him. He refused to explain anything and definitely won't allow me to have it. Maybe I could exchange it for something. I left. Well, we're kind of winding our way into the middle. Footsteps grew silent. I felt almost weightless as the soil and everything around me gradually became covered in moss. Be a nice place to rest if it weren't for the constant crying. It came from all sides. I need to drink more water. Y'all can hear that, right? I don't want to remember that I am confused or scared, but I am. I'm not confused, I'm not scared. If I want to escape, to play along with this Ford offered me, I can't. Don't care how weird things might get. All of a sudden, the black fog permeating the place rose high above the ground, forming an elongated, smoky cloud, and opened my backpack. I managed to react before it could snatch anything, and it flew away. I was trying to get sick of this already. Take a photo. Moss everywhere. I jumped as someone crawled out from under a layer of it and immediately turned back, suddenly unaware of my presence. When he waved at me, I understood it was LD. Decided to talk. Big bad cloud tried to take your stuff. Sometimes it's the other way around. You should try and share some with me later, of course. That's what friends do, right? Look around. That's why I tripped over a piece of wood. Stood the log and found a sheet of paper with a pencil sketch of some trees. A sentence had been torn from it. La tarde a qui y ahora. Did that go in here? Huh. I don't know what it could mean. Sure, lay down, why not? Damn, crying kept me from truly resting. I left. Part of the forest lay bathed in bluish shades. Beads of water were forming in the grass, trees, bark. Ground under one of the trees, the large tree wheels seemed to be dry. Take a photo. I don't want to eat a berry. Take cover under the willow. Decided to shelter myself from all the water drops under the willow. As I approached, I crushed something under my foot. It was a small mirror. Thought it must have been there for a reason. Did it roll down? Okay. I can do this. I don't feel like that's a corner. I need to find the corners. Here, a corner. Oh, okay. And there's that corner. Cool. Well, that doesn't work. Oh, that's a bottom piece, not a top piece. This goes somewhere in the middle. That's a bottom piece. Goes on the side. That goes there. This goes there. This one there. That's not where I meant to put it, but it works. Go there, you go there, and you go there. Okay. Luckily, it can still be reconstructed. As I lifted it, I noticed a hollow in the willow out of the corner of my eye. It was empty all the way to the treetop. I placed the mirror inside. The reflection illuminated an inscription scratched into the bark. It was written backwards originally, but with the mirror I could read it. Where trees grow tall and nothing blocks the view to see the picture fully, entangle the accessible and ignore the words teaching to wake the sleeping. What? What? I left. Okay. Vegetation grew thicker and taller as I went on. The smell of damp earth and decay grew stronger too. In the end, I saw a structure resembling some sort of ancient temple in front of me. Something flickered inside. Photo time. So the interesting photo, I guess, to correct the flash illuminated everything within the frame. Objects hidden behind others. Vines grew between almost every brick. Look around. Numerous Polaroids scattered around. When I gathered and became clear they were fragments of one single complete picture, I decided to put the journal down. Oh god, they can rotate. Presumably they go this way, right? Was it a key? I think it's a key. Oh, come on. There we go. Do I have to get the outside right too? Like, that looks like it's done, right? Huh. Guess I gotta get it to line up with that. That goes there. Okay. I think this is correct. Because that lines up with that. I mean, this seems right to me. Oh wait, that one's upside down. That was dumb. Okay. I reconstructed a key picture. Rearranged the photos and I realized they depicted a key. Something strange happened and transformed, shrinking and replaced by an actual metal key. Enter the temple. Now it wasn't dark inside. I noticed the vines had grown in one direction, deeper into the interiors. Follow. Followed the vines and a glint of light caught my eye again. It came from the top of the archway and vanished to the moment I discovered it. A leather-bound journal was lying there quite similar to mine. Hurt myself getting it. Get a shot, but the bricks was slippery and loose. I fell. Oh god. Kept searching around, unexpectedly something trap-like sprang out and punctured my leg. I was surprised right after that an apple appeared on the ground out of nowhere. I guess I deserved that joke of a fruit. Leave. Can I get that rope? Where was that? That was the snakes. Isn't there like a rope hanging? Take a photo. Patchy bark covered in claw marks. Remember now there's a board on the backside of it a few years ago. I might as well throw the thing away. So I did. It doesn't matter. Just want to go back. Okay. Guess I can't get the rope. Mouse, can you tell me anything? You want an apple? Why, thank you. What prompts such impulsive generosity? Surely you're not seeking to appease me merely to secure my assistance, are you? Each one of the photographs puzzle piece the enigma of the forest. They serve as your instrument to hear. Okay. Well, I think that's a good enough place to stop. Search some tents. There's a letter. It Sorry I left before your return. I'm writing this to let you know I love you. I miss you. I really want you to come back. I miss you. Please come back. I kept in a scrap paper underneath the fragment of hand-drawn map. A few places shown on it didn't match any mines with these notes, so I didn't think on writing. I died by searching around Lamau. Well, that seems like a pretty good place to end. That's a really interesting game. Not as scary as I expected. There's only like the one jump scare. It's got a bit of that scary atmosphere, but yeah, not too bad, honestly. I enjoyed the game. I like it as like a choose your own adventure. I was definitely expecting something spookier though, but that's not a bad thing exactly. But yeah, I've been Zale. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. I'm gonna be playing more scary games this month. Yeah, hopefully you join me for the experience. Thanks for being here. Bye.